Okay.
Okay. So, hi everybody. This is Georgiana Vasilescu from Romania. I am co-founder of the 7 Days, which is a space of creation for creators, whatever that means. And we'll explain more, and we'll speak about this concept in a few minutes with my colleagues. I will let Munaz take over from now, and you will understand more of who we are and what we do and what is with the 7 days. So, Munaz.
Okay, so hi everybody. Basically, my name is Manaz. This is my 10th year of working in Romania, and I was having a conversation with Georgiana, and we thought, well, it'd be good to see if we can get people out here as kind of like a celebration for the 10-year anniversary that I have now. And it's a bit of a milestone because of where I am now compared to where I was then. And I thought one of the things that would be great is to get some colleagues to come out and to basically help host a space where people can come together and we just exist as a community of creatives and basically support each other and coach where it's called for, where people have asked for it, and allow things to unfold in a natural, organic way. Now that could be so it could be people who are wanting to write a book, which they've been thinking about for a long, long time. It could be to do with somebody who is an artist who's wanting to paint something that they wanted to paint, or to write a project plan for a business, or create a workshop. I mean, it could be anything. It's the way that they design their own life for where they're at that time. So that's from my perspective. That's what it's about and why it was created. And the 7 days is, they talk about how the world and the universe was created in 6 days, and the seventh day was a day of rest. And that's basically what this concept links back to. It's our organic, creative nature. So what I'd like to do is ask Shazia, Kim, and Rebecca to basically introduce themselves and basically share what they see happening in those 7 days for themselves and for the people that are attending. So should we start with one of my teachers, Kimberly here, who's been pointed me in the direction of me or something deeper within me. So Kim, if you'd like to introduce yourself and say a little bit about what you think this will be about.
Sure. So my name's Kimberly Hare. I'm a writer, I'm a coach, I'm a facilitator, and I spend my time leading workshops, retreats, all sorts of events for people from all walks of life all over the world, really. And my passion is to help people to truly thrive as human beings. And for me, the 7 days is a chance to, why I'm so interested in it is that people will come and you'll have your projects, you'll have things that you want to create. And what I find working with people is that very often we want to create things, but we're held back by insecure thoughts. We're held back by kind of thinking that we should do this rather than truly being called and inspired and lit up by doing this. So what I really want to help people do is to kind of meet and then fall in love with who and what they truly are, beyond the separate self, beyond all the insecure thinking, and at the same time to be like fully awake as a human being and fully alive as a human being, in this kind of human skin bag, if you like. And so I think when you're in that space of knowing who you really are and being deeply awake and deeply alive, then your goals and dreams become even more an authentic expression of your uniqueness. And also when you realize that you're already perfectly okay and whole as you are, this somehow allows us the freedom of mind to just go for it. And to create what we truly want becomes much more like a game or an adventure. So I thought, you know, if you're going to invest 7 days in creating something, it might as well be the deepest expression of you. And when you're both in love with yourself and everybody else and life and the world, you kind of can fall in love with the process of creating whatever it is that you want to create. So that's what I want to help people do.
Cool, thank you. Who'd like to go next? Shazia?
Hi, my name is Shazia. I've been working in the space of culture and creation for, I guess, the last 20 years. And putting it together in a coping experience in the last couple of years. What 7 days is leading to is, I guess, changing the idea behind what creativity is. You have to be a creative or a painter or have something that's particularly obvious in creation. It's more to do with
Shazia, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because we can hardly hear what you're saying. You're breaking up. Don't know what's going on. But you're breaking up. The visuals are breaking up as the audio. Can you just see what's going on while we go on to Rebecca, and then we'll come back to you? Is that okay?
Maybe Shazia, log off and then log in again.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Rebecca?
I was thinking when Kim was talking, gosh, how do you follow that? It was so, just gives me goosebumps at the thought of it. Like Kim, I'm an author and a coach, and I feel such a privilege to be coming along to spend a week in Romania and to be in this space of exploration and creativity, because I have seen in my own life the profoundest shift when I have got out of my head, out of my thinking, let go of expectations. And it's really funny, this just comes to me now. I live by the sea, and it's almost like when I surf, and I don't surf, but when I surf with life, and the beauty that unfolds that I could not even have predicted when I am in a space of creativity, and that comes from letting go of the thinking, the preconceptions, all of the to-do lists, or even the attachment to goal setting in a way, which was all so restricting and so counter to what I'm now experiencing. And it can feel really scary to let go and to trust that process. But goodness me, when you do, you know, I am doing things now in my life that I was in a prison yesterday talking with inmates. There is no way that 6 months ago I would have seen that. To be invited to come to Romania, that didn't even had that in my thinking. And the creativity, certainly from a writing perspective as well, when I let go of the need to have it look or be a certain way, all of that is, it's like shackles. And the idea of spending 7 days in a space surrounded by beautiful people, beautiful scenery, you can't even put words around what's possible for that. And that to me is what's exciting about what we'll be sharing in this 7 days in Romania in the summer. So bring it on.
So, Shazia.
Hello.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Hi, my name is Shazia. I've been working around culture and creativity over the last 20 years. And for me, creativity is something that goes beyond an obvious notion of being able to sing or to paint or be an architect or a best-selling novelist. And what I found is that the creativity is actually the basis upon which we all experience life. And sometimes that creativity gets blocked by our thinking. That thinking might be, I can't do, I don't know, it's not possible. And when we have pathways that are clear, or maybe little bumps in the road that we can just hop over, that are those things that are saying, can't do, not possible, don't know, and so on, then suddenly we're opening up to huge space, and that space is where creativity lives. That's where innovation is, and that's where freedom is. And as Kimberly so beautifully said, it's where love is. And when you're kind of riding that wave of love, you can experience all kinds of things, all kinds of creativity, all kinds of expression, all kinds of openness and I guess hope. Ideas, I think at that point, ideas flow. They're not all going to be great. Not every idea is great. You can be incredibly creative and that doesn't mean it has to lead to an end of something that others can feel the same way about. It's about unlocking something within yourself. And I think for me, these 7 days will be seeing really what happens, because it can be incredibly exciting what kind of innovation and creativity actually comes up. It doesn't have to be in any kind of methodical manner or any obvious manner. I think that openness and that wave it's going to have highs and it's going to have lows, and the end is going to be an amazing journey.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Georgie, do you have any questions?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I had some problems, technological problems at the beginning. I don't know if you could see, I was off the radar.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear nothing what Kim said at the beginning. And then I tried to fill my blanks, and I was thinking about how we came up with the idea with the 7 days and what the 7 days mean for myself. And I remembered myself a few years ago when we were talking, and I was telling you I have so many great ideas, so many businesses, so many projects, so many things I want to bring out in the world, but I just don't have the time. And I was saying to you, I just need 7 days. I need a few days to just let go of what I'm doing, to run away of the things I do every day, the admin stuff and the things, the priorities. And you said to me, just come to UK, come here, take a week off. And I never had 7 days until now for myself, and I know from the bottom of my heart that I can rock in those 7 days. I can take what any idea, any project, anything of the things I feel in my heart to do it, and I know I can do it in 7 days. And you told me something, Manaz, and you said to me, the world was created this universe was created in 7 days. So if a whole universe can be created in us in 7 days, imagine what we can create in 7 days. Any project, any idea, anything you can think of. You can create it in 1 hour if you want. And I have examples in my life. I have 3 companies, and I have a lot of projects ongoing. And I also have 2 children, small children, and I can see how many things you can do in a few hours or in a few days if you work from that space, if you get off your thinking and you're connected to that thing, to, I don't know, name it however you want, maybe God, maybe creativity, maybe source, I don't know, but imagine what you can do in 7 days. And this is also a challenge for me because you know me, I have worldwide vision. I want to do great things, and I want to use it because I want to prove it, first of all, to not to myself, but I think the world needs to see what people can create in 7 days in that space. So this is what I had in my mind to say. I we said the meeting won't have an agenda because we want to see what unfolds. So I don't know, maybe I think one of the question might be, what's in it for them? What's in it for the people who come? What should their expectations be? Because this is different from everything. We couldn't even name it. We couldn't say this is a camp, or this is a retreat, or this is a training, or this is a workshop. I don't know. We couldn't give it a name, so we've just named it the 7 days. And this is so unique in the world, and it has no agenda, it has no gurus, it has no teachers. And I want to ask you, Manaz, because I know how you work, and I see your results, and I see how people have insights when they work with you. And I want to ask you to share more about this magic. How does it work?
Okay, so you know how you've had a little taste of the magic from me. Wait till you see these 3. Like, I'm nothing, you know. There's like so much, and then here's the thing. For me, it's like when we get together as a community, the insights are not just from us as hosts; it's from the group. I learn as much about being human from the people I work with as much as I can offer in that moment with whatever comes out of my mouth. And I never know what's going to come out of my mouth because it just comes. But for me, having 7 days, ideally, like, my ideal is that within my lifetime, everybody understands this. And, you know, it can happen at the level of community. It can happen in families. It can happen in any way. And I think for me, what this is about building communities of people who take this into their worlds. And it's not about saying, you're a better person or you're a worse person. It's just about saying you're human, and you're going to come with all of these emotions and experiences, and it's going to happen. It's something you will experience because we're breathing and we're living and our hearts beat and our minds work and we're connected to something incredibly huge that we can't even comprehend with our small minds, and I think the deeper the connection that we have in that space to that infinite love and well-being and wisdom and all of that, we become delegates, if that makes any sense. I mean, we're there as hosts, but I don't think we're there as hosts. I think we're there as learners as well. And so it's not about gurus, because I don't think everybody has their own connection to their wisdom, and insights can come from any direction, in any place, in any moment. And there's nothing to dictate when that comes. But it's a 10-year anniversary. I wanted to do something in Romania. I've always wanted, every time I come to Romania, people are saying, oh, what's it like? What are the people like? And I'm like, it's fucking awesome. You need to come. It's like, for me, working with the people that I work with in Romania, all the people that I've ever met in all of my experience out there, I think it's one of the countries that will probably wake up very quickly compared to most. I actually believe that. And so for the 10-year anniversary, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it was, I think it's by divine plan, if that makes any sense. And so to do this is about not being perfect. It's about, just coming up with what comes up in the moment. I was speaking to a friend last night about dreams, and he was saying, I write notes down when I'm having a dream, and it feels so right in the middle of the night, and it just feels like, I have to write this down, And he wakes up in the morning and said that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And it's the same in life with what we think, it feels right in the moment, and then, sometimes when it feels right and we don't take action on it, with that game that Kim was talking about earlier, if we don't take action on it, then potentially that point in that time when that creation was important and was going to lead to something potentially that is beyond what you can even comprehend. It is just what it is at the end of the day. But for me, it's like, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? And not kind of held back because in the morning it didn't feel right. So for me, it's like, everything is there for a reason, even if it might make sense for one person and make no sense for 100 others, but that one person is enough. And I think we're the seeds. We are the seeds. We're those little lights that kind of light up the other lights, and then they'll light up other lights, and it will just expand and grow like Japanese knotweed. which is a plant that we have in our local area that basically kills everything, but it doesn't stop growing. It's viral. So it's that, and it's that feeling, because it feels really good. It feels amazing to be in a space where you're loved, and we are all love. Yeah. And sometimes we're not, and it's all right. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I've answered your question, Georgie. But for me, that was why no? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Did that answer your question?
It answered to another question.
Okay, good.
I was thinking, because people is asking me, because I was telling our participants and the people we know from the trainings and workshops and the courses we organize here in Romania, and they asked me what is it about? What do you mean no training? Why do I come there? I need somebody to tell me what to do. teach me how to write that book, or teach me how to create that blog, or and I told them that resources are in the field, and I know that each and every one of us, with the knowledge we have and the experience with the information, and also the people who will join us from different other countries, not only Romania, will bring their value to the group. And
just on a quick note, we've got delegates from Spain already. We've got some from the UK and Romania.
From Romania, yeah. And there are many countries to come, because we didn't even started to promote the event. We just we told to our list or group of friends, but we will start promote it internationally. And as we were speaking with us yesterday or the day before, we said, okay, we received the invitation. We received an invitation to do it in Spain as well, and we also talked about organize it in Greece, in Turkey, in any country, because I think everybody, from any person from any country, needs this, needs some time for themselves, some time to connect with their inner calling. And as people were asking me, I was telling you earlier, okay, I want to write a book. Is there anyone showing me how to write a book? And my answer was, you don't need anyone to show you how to write a book. You just write a book, and the book will be written by itself. This is the magic of it. And I do this I live this. I actually do this in my life and in my work. Because I'm also a marketing specialist, and I've helped my business grow without knowing so many things about marketing. And even if now I know a lot of things about marketing, and I can do professional marketing, I don't do it. I always follow my intuition, and I go with the flow, and I have results.
You do a bloody good job as well, yeah?
Yeah, we do a bloody good job, indeed. And sometimes I'm amazed, even myself, when I see the results. And I know that anyone, and I've studied brands, and I know that there are huge brands on the market built from people who had no idea about marketing or how to build a brand. They had no information, zero information 100 years ago about that, no professionals, but they did it. And they did it because their focus was not to build a brand, but to bring into the world their calling, and to be in the service of the others. And when you do that, you don't need professionals. You don't need to know how to do it. It happens by itself. I don't know how. This is the magic of it. You don't even know the how. You don't need to know the how. The how will reveal itself when you start doing it. And this is the magic of the 7 days. And this is what I want to tell people. You don't need to know how to do things. You just need to do them, to get there, to connect with that state, and to bring out from there. And things will happen by themselves. And I am sure that we will witness some international projects. I'm sure about that. And I already have a few participants from my group of friends that want to do something amazing with the ideas they have. And I know that 1 year from now on, we will just give that as an example.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Does anyone else want to contribute here? Yes, Kim.
Yeah, so well, just a couple of things that came up from what people said, and it's all really beautiful. But I so agree with the thing that we don't need experts showing us how to do things. But what we do sometimes need, I think, is just support and help in clearing away what gets in the way. And I often use a formula which is P equals P minus I. So the first P stands for performance, and that could be your performance, you know, as a writer, as an entrepreneur, as a parent, as anything. Equals P, your potential, which by definition is infinite, minus I, which is interference.
Yes.
And we do have, as a society, we have just loads of interference. So I think it's about helping people clear that interference away. So there's a much closer alignment between performance and potential. And the other thing I just wanted to add is, and I think, you know, you asked Georgie, what should people expect? I think they should have enormous expectations. But I don't think it has to be, well, I'm assuming this, I don't think it has to be like a huge world-changing creation project. I see this as just as relevant for people who are at some kind of transition, who just need some space, who are maybe overwhelmed or exhausted, and who need a kind of refresh and renewal 7 days, because they don't know what they want to do yet. And so I see this just as much being a place of creation of peace of mind, if you like.
Yeah.
In order to then, you know, come back to kind of normal life, you know, replenished and kind of inspired from that place of love and well-being. So I just wanted to kind of reassure people who think, well, I haven't got some great book idea or something.
Yeah, good point.
I think that's going to be just as useful.
See, it's really interesting because when I heard you say it's not going to be world changing, I think when one person changes, it changes the entire world anyway. So it will be from a personal perspective, it will be world changing. But no expectations. I don't know. Yes, Rebecca.
And I was thinking as well, this is perhaps about permission, people giving themselves permission to be in that space as well. And sometimes it looks like they need to be granted permission from somebody else to do this. And that's the moment we give ourselves permission, and whatever that looks like to us, to chill out, to relax, to, as Kim was talking about, you know, actually this is about 7 days, and their goal or aim is to be able to sit with themselves for that time. And that's profoundly life-changing and world-changing as well. So it doesn't need to be the book or the project. But there's something for me in giving ourselves permission, because we feel in the society that we live that it's still bigger, better, more, faster, all of that. And actually, if we decide to jump out of the rat race, as it were, whatever that means in our head, feels we've kind of copping out somehow. And I know I've certainly felt that, having my own business, that I need to do more and more and more, and then just seeing how unproductive that was, and giving myself permission to go and walk on the beach. And goodness, you know what happens? I came up with 6 ideas for something. Whereas I'd sat at my desk thinking I had to do more and harder and faster, and I wasn't working hard enough. And I just needed to give myself permission to allow the deeper part of us, and again, what we call that source, God, mind, spirit, to actually take the reins and guide us, and grant yourself that permission to do this, because goodness me, it's going to be awesome.
you touched a very sensitive point, because as an entrepreneur and with a lot of projects ongoing, I had that. I didn't have time to, not to think, to unthink. I don't know how to say it, to just shut the thinking off and just allow that wisdom to come out. And each time I did that, I managed to resolve a lot of problems, and a lot of things that, or emergencies that needed to be done. And this is very important, yes, indeed, because it's not only for creators, and maybe not only for people who want to do something great in their life, but because everyone already does something great in their life in their own way. But just have a break, of everything, have a break of their job, their to do things, and just allow that wisdom to guide them. I don't know, maybe
Shazia.
yeah, wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, alongside of that, to maybe not be so heavy with all of it, to come in and exploring, having fun and exploring and being curious to what might come, even if you have a specific goal you'd like to reach by the end of the 7 days, for it not to be heavy, for it not to be burdensome, for it to be a point of excitement and, wow, we've got these 7 days just to be creative. Like there's nothing else. This is just to be me. And like Rebecca was saying, that could be being silent. And maybe being in silence is, is the point where you just start listening to what your own truth is, or where it is you'd like to go, and maybe something else comes. But then again, it's exploration, and it's about being curious about what works for you as an individual, really. And I think having fun and making it light can lead to all kinds of really exciting ends or middles, beginnings.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that, like, when I had run a course in Romania, or I've been to retreats where, or I've trained abroad, or whatever, I've done my trainings as a participant. There was one point where I was resourcing on a training and it had 60 people in it. And I remember people just saying, "Can I use a loo?" I mean, like, really? Are we at school? Like, it's just interesting how the permissioning thing becomes such a big deal, to the point of Mother Nature, or nature calling, But this space is about whoever is there. It's their space to do what they want to do in it. And that's the bottom line. It's about them. It's about them as individuals. It's about us as individuals. And when I talk about us being hosts, what I mean by that is the supportive mechanism that Kim was talking about. It's potential coaching conversations, or just conversations. Don't even need to call them coaching conversations anymore. And it's just being there, whatever comes up, for whoever shows up. And that's it.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Can you not feel it already?
Yeah. This has been really, really useful. I just want to thank everybody for your contribution to making this a reality. All of you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And myself. But yeah, like, just thank you to the powers that be for bringing us all together, and to this point, and whatever else comes. But yeah, just really grateful, really, really grateful. And thank you, Georgie.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank
Yeah.
the source, the universe, for allowing us to create this space. And I don't know how it will unfold. I just like this word, but I know it will it will happen natural, and it will come from itself, just as the idea came. We didn't sat at the table wondering, oh, let's do that, or no, it just flowed. It was something that came through us. So I don't even know if I have a little bit of I don't know if I can call myself as a co-founder or as, because it's something that we all do. We just contribute to this idea, and we don't even own it. we just we just serve for it. I don't know how to say it. It
Yeah,
was
baby.
like a calling for us, and we just answered. Maybe somebody else in some other country, maybe, or somewhere else in this world has the same idea or not. It doesn't even matter. What matters is that we felt to do it, and we've done it. It was so natural and so easy, and even with the page, with the ideas, with everything flowed. Everything was just there, and we just allowed it to happen. And we've already started to experience it, to experience this space. So I think it's amazing, and I hope everybody. I hope that as many people as they feel to join us and to come to the 7 days, and to allow them to create or have a break or whatever. We will be so happy to meet them, and we look forward, and I look forward to see it happen and to meet everybody. So
Thank you everybody.
thank you.
Really
You.
looking forward to it, really.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Love you guys.
Love you
Love
too.
you.
And see you at the 7 days.
See you in
And
Romania.
yeah, if you have any questions, and we will make some changes on the page. And if you have any questions about the 7 days, you can register there, show your interest, and we'll come back with answers, with information. We'll also come back with more videos like this, and we'll share everything, and we'll see what will happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Georgie.
Okay.
Thanks,
thank you.
everyone.
Thank
Okay,
you all.
bye.
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 Bye.